Welcome to Be Your Own Motivation, the podcast about fitness and healthy lifestyle. Hello, and welcome to our fourth episode of the Be Your Own Motivation podcast. And today we will speak a little bit about Kirsty's latest races she did the last 2 weekends and about how to start into your fitness journey and what's the goes and the no-goes. So, hello, Kirsty.
Hello. Hello.
Uh, so let's talk first about the new kind of race you did for the first time, I believe. That was a week ago,
Yeah,
and it's called Dryathlon.
correct. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So I wasn't planning actually on doing any events that weren't DEKA this year. Um, but I saw this event, it popped up on a few people's Instagram accounts, and I thought, okay, this looks quite interesting. And obviously all of the ergs, I know the bike erg is not in DEKA, but a bike is a bike, right? So the ski and the row are in DEKA, and I thought, okay, it's basically like a giant gym session. But you know what? It was so much fun. It's been a long time since I've done an event where it's been the first time I've done it. And I always say to everyone, there is something so fun about doing something for the first time. You've got no pressure, you've got no previous time in your head to beat or no previous score. You can just have a go, and it doesn't matter how like bad, how good you are, like you just do it and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, all the races that I do I love anyway, but I just love doing an event for the first time, and there's no pressure in the background. um so for anyone that doesn't know what a triathlon is, because I didn't know before, it's a 20-minute, well, okay, so it's a ski erg, a 2-minute rest, the bike erg, 2-minute rest, and then the row. So you can choose to do a full triathlon, which is 20 minutes per machine, or you can
Yes.
choose to do a half one, which is 10 minutes per machine, or you can do it in a team. So I did it solo, and I chose to do 20 minutes per erg because why not? Throw yourself in. And actually, do you know what? It was hard, but it was so much fun. It was really, really good fun. And yeah, everyone was really supportive, and I bumped into a few people from the community there. So that was really nice to like see some faces from the hybrid world. And yeah, it was really, really good fun. Like it's hard. That was the first time I've ever done the ski solidly for 20 minutes. Um, so that was interesting because that's definitely my weakest erg. But yeah, I just kind of had a game plan in my head to try and get as many calories as I can. So the aim is to get as many calories as you can across all three machines. So I was kind of thinking in my head, let's just try and get 200 per machine. So luckily, I managed to get 200 on the ski, and the others I got a bit more, but I was glad that I just got 200 on the ski. But yeah, no, honestly, it's really good fun. So I really encourage anyone who is just looking for something new to try, wants to give it a go, see what it's like. Have a look for Dryathlon online. They've got quite a few events. Most of them are a little bit further up from where I was. So I went to somewhere called Cambridge, which is still 2 hours by train for me, but it was the closest one. But yeah, they're kind of sort of all around the country. And yeah, it was lots of fun. So I definitely recommend, if you want to have a try, something new, yeah, look them up and give it a go. It's hard, but it's fun.
Okay. Well, I have heard about the triathlon before, but as always, there's none anywhere near me.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember me that there were already some in UK because when I did the DEKA last year in Birmingham, there was just the day after there was a triathlon somewhere near.
Okay.
Because I can't remember me who was it, but someone told me, "Oh, I go tomorrow for triathlon," and then I've asked because I mean triathlon, okay, on the ergs, yeah, okay, but I didn't know how long actually it has to be, or is it fixed format, or are there different formats? Because I just know from Concept 2 they had an official, which was I believe called Ergathlon, which was
Oh,
in
okay.
Hamburg last year, or it is every year probably now, I don't know. But it was so far away, like Hamburg is so far away from me, so I need to either drive 8 hours there or fly, which is senseless. And it was a really, really short one. It was super short. It was like, I believe it was 500 meter on the ski, on the row, and then probably a bit longer, 1500 on the bike or something. So it was really short.
Right.
And I thought like, oh no, for that one, like that's really the people who do that really, really forever. So
Yeah.
who really can sprint crazy on this. So I didn't saw any sense at all to travel for it there. But yeah, I would like to do it. It was longer in my head because actually I have the 3 ergs right now
Yeah.
for I believe 2 years. I have like all 3 of them. So I usually do my warm up on the bike erg. And yeah, the other we have in our races, like you said. So yeah, it's interesting. And I didn't know before that it is about calories. I always thought it is about meters
Yeah.
for the triathlon, but you posted it, and then I was like, okay, it's about total calories actually.
Yeah.
So like that's how the ranking works.
Yeah.
And you just said you had a 2 minute rest in between. That's what I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought it's just like you have 20 minutes, you jump on the next one, you go for 20 minutes, you jump on the next one. But so you have 2 minute rest in between, which is like still after 20 minutes of work, 2 minutes is pretty short, I believe. But
I mean,
it's
to be
something.
honest, by the time you have come off the ski, got on the bike, like checked your seat is okay, and
Yeah,
all of that, it's 2 minutes goes. So it basically is like going 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Like
yeah,
that 2 minutes rest is not a rest. So yeah, it's do you know what though? I thought I would struggle more. Like, don't get me wrong, I was nowhere by any means the best at all.
yeah,
I came
yeah, yeah.
last actually, I think, which I don't mind because it was the first time and it was fun. But I actually thought that on the ski I would break.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, okay, I'll probably get to the most I've done in the gym is 15 minutes. So I thought, okay, I'll probably get to 15 and I'll break. But actually, being in that competition environment, even though I was slower than the other two ladies that set off at the same time as me, um, I was able to just maintain a consistent pace. So actually, I was quite happy about that I was
Yes.
able to just keep going for 20 minutes because I had never done that before. So yeah, for me, I went into it knowing I was not gonna like break any records. I wasn't gonna be top, but I just wanted to test myself in a different way. So just to be do all of the ergs unbroken, without stopping at all in the 20 minutes. And I did that. So I'm really happy. And obviously if I ever do it again, I've now got a score to beat. So yeah, that was it. But it was really good fun. But you as you just mentioned a minute ago, if you have all 3 machines, you could do the first unofficial triathlon in Luxembourg
Yeah.
and you could set a
Yeah.
score.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah,
you
I,
could
I've
you could give
never,
it a go.
yeah, I actually, well, also the last years I never did any long thing on the bike. I mean, on the bike I can go for 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
sometimes do a 20-minute warm out just easily, never with any crazy setting or pushing or whatever. I just started in January to try to build up some endurance again on the other 2 ergs. It worked on the ski erg for me pretty well, which was always from the beginning on. I was quite okay. Like I mean, I know the most women are not happy with the ski erg in general, like not in high rocks, not in DEKA. But I prefer always the ski erg. I don't know. It was easier for me from the beginning on. I believe it is due to my long-term pelvis trouble because when I sit a little bit longer than 3, 4, 5 minutes on the rower, depends on how my tensions are around the pelvis at the point. I get really uncomfortable. It's really
Yeah.
uncomfortable to sit. I get really pain or tension in my lower back. So, which is also due to the weakness of one of my hamstrings where I had like several injuries. I believe at least. So yeah, I have more trouble with the row. To sit there for 20 minutes, I believe that would be the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
But also, I did already for myself, like in summer when I could put the machines out in the sun, I did already like 20 minutes on each. I believe I did that already, or at least 10, 10, and 10. But I've never done it on calories. Actually, I never look on calories on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I always just looked on the meters.
Yeah.
Because like all the races we do is on meters
Yeah.
on it. So I really would need to just change the screen and have a look at it, how many calories actually it would be for me. I really will try it once in my training for sure, because like you said, I just have the machine, so it's pretty easy to do so. Um, but so it how was it set up? What is first? The ski erg is first, or
Yeah. So
okay?
ski, bike, row.
Oh, ski bike row. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So quite you have the rest in between on the bike.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
I mean for your arms, it is a lot
yeah.
if you have the ski, the row, and then the bike, like it is in other formats. You usually have first the row and the ski, and then the last thing is the bike. Which is also nice because then you can just push through on your legs. But
Yeah.
if you have the bikes in the middle, you cannot push too hard on the bike because you need your legs on the row again. So I mean, you need the legs on all ergs, but you need them really on the row more than you believe. I mean, that's what we all feel in high rocks, right?
Yeah.
So before I did high rocks really intensely, I've never had like burning legs on the rower, but in high rocks it's always like my arms are fine, but my legs are just burning. They don't want it anymore.
Yeah. So
So
true. Do you know what
yeah.
though? Actually, the worst thing that hurt the most, so not the legs, not the arms, was the calluses, the blisters. So
Oh
stupid me didn't take any chalk because I thought, oh, why I won't need chalk.
yeah.
And then obviously by the time you get to the row, your hands are really sweaty. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's that constant kind of like, on the row handle. And yeah, the blisters on the calluses when I got off, I was like, oh, my hands. So that was actually the worst pain. So if any good tip, if anyone does it, take chalk. Like I promise you, you will need that chalk.
Okay. Do you believe it's more sensible to take chalk or to take gloves on?
Oh yeah, well yeah, chalk or gloves, I guess whatever someone is most comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I like I said, I just did it bare hand and I was struggling, well, not struggling, but I was suffering by the time I got to the row. So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
chalk or gloves, whatever is a preferred method for someone. But yeah,
Yeah, I have to say I gave myself the challenge to try the first time ever. Well, I want to do it on both, but on the row it didn't work because I just had that fall in December. I saw my pelvis is not that good, so I couldn't do it on the row. But I had that challenge for myself to once do a 10K on the ski erg and on the rower. So I just did it on the ski erg at the end. And yeah, I built it up on over 2 weeks, like to progress, like every 2 to 3 days, I tried to do 1K more or something. And I never had before blisters either, like from those ergs. And then I had on my fingertip, but just on one. But it was so annoying, and I started to feel it when I was on the 10K, and I was like at the end it was like so uncomfortable. It was like really weird feeling because I've never had like blisters on my fingertips, and
yeah,
and and I don't know if I do something weird with my fingers there, because I would have thought somewhere on the fingers but not really on the fingertips. So I don't, so even if I would have worn gloves it wouldn't help because I never have full covered gloves for sport. So I mean, a lot of people wear them now for high rock stuff, but like
yeah,
those garden gloves or
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
true.
I believe that's not a thing I would ever use because I believe you sweat also a lot in them. So yeah,
Yeah,
not not nice. But yeah, I can understand the blister
yeah,
problem definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what was the ski erg was still the hardest then, or do you feel because the rower was at the end that was probably the hardest?
Well, I quite like the row.
Yes.
So I was happy, and also I got to sit down.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed sitting down. That
Mm.
was nice. So yeah, for me it was definitely the ski. Like that's my weakest erg by far. So yeah, I was happy to get that one done first, and then because I exceeded my expectations of how I was going to do, I was then even more positive moving forward because I was like, oh, okay, well I've done my worst one. So I know that I can at least get 200 calories on the other two.
Hmm.
Because I know that the bike, obviously everyone knows, right? The bike, you can pedal for 20 minutes.
Yes.
Even if you have to go a bit slow for like 10 seconds, and then speed back up, like you can continuously pedal for 20 minutes. So I knew the bike was going to be okay. And then the row, I was, pretty confident that I wouldn't need to stop. Um, so yeah, once the ski was done, I was just, yeah, happy, and then carried on. And yeah, it was genuinely really good fun. It was really good fun.
So the row you have done already more than 20 minutes before,
Yes.
okay, so
Yeah.
you knew you could do it,
Yeah.
but so it was the most fear was like about the ski to probably stop in between
Yeah.
or something. Okay, so it was pretty well then, and so you're up for another one.
I would definitely do another one. Now I've got a score to beat.
Yes.
I know, and I would obviously take chalk. I know probably a bit better how to pace it next time as well. You learn, don't you? When you've done
Yeah,
something
yeah,
once, you then learn what you would and wouldn't do again. So yeah, I think I definitely would give another one a go. Maybe a bit later on in the summer when
yeah.
the schedule calms down a bit. But yeah, I would definitely do it again.
So do you have a lot of them in UK or just like some rarely or I don't
Yeah,
know. So
yeah, no, there's quite a few actually. I think there's been
okay.
like 3 or 4 each month so far. I literally didn't even know about it until I saw it on a couple of a few people that I follow did it in, I think it was January or February. And
Okay.
literally that was the first time I ever heard of it just this year. So and the reason that I waited till to book it in March was just because it was the closest one to me.
Hmm.
So it was like the least travel. But yeah, there's, as far as I'm aware, there's at least been sort of 2 a month. And then
Okay.
I believe they have the finals in September, I think.
Oh,
I
so
think,
so there is a kind of UK ranking for it. Is it just for
yeah,
UK or
yeah. So
okay?
each of the races, so the country is divided up into regions,
Hmm.
4 regions, I think. And depending on where the race is in the country, it will fit into one of those regions. And then I don't know, I couldn't find out how many people qualify from each region. But obviously, there's a certain amount of people that will qualify in each category through to the finals in September, I believe. So I don't know how many people go through. I couldn't find that information out, but yeah, so it's pretty cool. I had a look on their Instagram, and yeah, it looks like it's quite a cool event. And obviously, when they have the finals, it's the same format. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah. Also, for me, it's surprising because like by now, over the last few years, a lot of gyms, also like in Germany or wherever, have all three ergs. So I was always surprised that there's nothing, not more about erg races
Yeah,
because it's pretty easy to set it up, right? And
yeah,
it's even easier to judge. I mean,
yeah,
you don't need any big thing. You just look on the screen, your 20
yeah,
minutes are gone, you stop and
yeah,
you go off. And I mean, so it's really the easiest kind of setup you can have. And I believe a lot of people, especially like imagine for triathlon people, when it's off season, it's a great thing for them. I mean,
yeah,
it's just indoor, so if the weather is shit outdoor, so they cannot go for really swim outdoor in several months of the year. So it's like a good thing to go on the rower as
yeah,
well. So I believe like a lot of those endurance people will really look forward to something of this.
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, again, it's again just like why do we not have it yet? I don't know. So I hope we will have it soon in Europe, or at least probably it is somewhere in countries who are further away from me. I don't know, but I haven't really heard of it. And again, I also believe like there are a lot of CrossFit gyms they have like all three ergs, so they could
Yeah,
just do a small version of it, like
yeah,
having 4 or 5 athletes parallel, and then
yeah,
so yeah, I mean I really would like to try it as well. And I mean also if they have already like you have like a leaderboard or something, it's even more like for people to
yeah,
reach a several thing. They want to see how good am I and I can improve. So it's always nice. And yeah, okay, that really sounds great.
yeah. It
And
was good. Yeah.
yeah, so then I look forward to you to do it again.
Yeah. No, I definitely would do it again. Yeah.
Okay, and then you had another race yesterday. So
Yes.
we recording right now on Sunday 16th. Not sure when we put it out next week at some point, but just to make understanding, yesterday was Saturday and you did race again.
Yes. I didn't actually intend for March to be so busy. It just happened to be that way. So it's a busy month. But yeah, yesterday I did two races in one day. So I did DEKA Ruck Mile and DEKA Ruck Strong. So for anyone that doesn't know what ruck is, it's basically the same DEKA Mile race, the same DEKA Strong race, but with a weighted backpack on. So for women, it is, oh gosh, I always forget what it is in pounds because I just put my 10 kg backpack on. £20 for women, which is like 9.9 something kg.
Yeah, yeah,
So because you can't get a backpack that's like 9.9 something
yeah,
kg,
sure.
obviously it's just rounded up to 10. So yeah, you wear your backpack and you basically do the same DEKA race that you would do with the weight on. So yeah, I mean, if anybody is watching this that follows me on Instagram, you will know how much I love a ruck. Everyone knows I love a ruck. Like it is my one of my top three favorite races is doing the DEKA with a ruck on. I just love it. I love the challenge of it. I love the fact that it's hard. Like DEKA's hard anyway, right? Obviously, but I like the fact that that's there's that additional challenge. Yeah. So I appreciate that 10 kg is a lot of weight, but if there are women listening or even men listening that want to give it a go, like give it a try. Even if you do your first one and it takes you, I don't know, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, however long, just give it a try. People that I know that have tried it for the first time fall in love with it and then want to do it again.
Okay. As you know, I also look forward to try once any version of a DEKA race in the rock version.
Yeah.
But again, we haven't had it yet. I mean, the only access we had on really DEKA Fit or Mile or Strong races was last year, always the trifecta weekends in Spain, where you always had to travel to. And then, of course, my main focus was always like the fit race.
Yeah.
But we also there was no offer for a rock race yet.
Yeah.
So and I believe you have it already for probably 1.5 year or 2 years over there in UK with the rock races in Dakar.
Yes.
Yeah,
But only a handful of affiliates.
yeah,
So
yeah.
from what I have found, and I could be wrong, so this is not fact,
Hmm.
but from what I have seen and researched, I think there's about five, possibly six
Yeah,
affiliate gyms that I've seen that offer ruck. So again, I think the thing is that one, a lot of people don't know what rucking is. They're not familiar with rucking.
yes,
And I think, you know, adding it is scary, isn't it, to think I'm going to add a 10 kg backpack on.
yes.
So I think it's that maybe that fear of the unknown as well. You know, people like unsure, will I be able to do it with the backpack on or not? And it is a challenge. It is heavy, like the box step overs, for example, with the ruck on, it's hard. With the backpack on your back and all of the other things, the bike that we hate, the burpees, but it
But
is
also I mean also the ski. So usually the affiliates they give you the rock vest, but you can also put your own or.
no. So how it works is when you do the DEKA rucks
Hmm.
Mile and Strong, you take your own ruck,
Mm.
regardless of where you are.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that I'm speaking correctly for the US because obviously I've not done a Mile or Strong in the US, but I
Yeah.
believe it's so in the US when you do a fit ruck, you can actually use their loaner ruck. So I've done that when I've raced in the US and done the DEKA Fit ruck. You
Hmm.
just give them your ID and they'll give
Hmm.
you a Go Ruck backpack.
Yeah.
And they're really good ones actually. They're really, really good. So they'll loan you that ruck and you can use it for the DEKA Fit because it's in the arena. because obviously the DEKA Mile and Strong are still held by affiliate gyms,
Hmm.
you bring your own, which is the same as here. So you bring your own ruck to the gym.
Okay.
And obviously there's no loaner rucks available for Mile or Strong.
Okay. Because I know, I mean, I had once a very, very cheap vest I just bought like for some things in outdoor training, functional training, to just like, when it's too easy, the exercising for the people, we just put on
Yep.
the rest to have an extra challenge. So I know it's pretty hard to find one, especially as a woman, I believe. It's even harder to find one which is comfortable, especially if you have to run with it, that it just not pop up and down all the time too much. And also like for seeing, like if you go forward and down, that it doesn't always shift. I believe it's pretty hard to find, first of all that, but probably they all do a little bit of movement. So I mean, you
Yeah.
will feel it on your shoulders. I'm pretty sure. I've never done it, but I can imagine
Oh,
that your shoulders will be very, very done after it.
I can tell you that today my traps are screaming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They are aching. Yeah. It's obviously it's all in the traps, isn't it? Which is where the
yeah,
weight sits. But
yeah.
surprisingly, the ski is not so bad because you can
Okay.
kind of keep more of an upright position. You can keep the ruck from sliding.
Yes, but you have to test it.
Yeah. The
To have another version of the movement,
yeah.
how you do it. Yeah, yeah.
The worst one by far is the burpees because obviously
Oh, yeah.
I have concussed myself in the gym with my ruck one time when I was doing burpees. It
Oh,
slammed forward and hit me in the back of the head,
oh,
and I got
yeah.
like minor concussion. So
That's the
yeah.
perfect thing to not to do for Tanya. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, a word of warning to people, just be
Mm,
careful on the burpees. Like
yeah.
don't go all out, just be careful.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't even thought about it. Yeah, I just thought about skiing. Like it would be annoying. And then the sit-ups, you take the rest off and you take the rest as weight, right?
Yeah,
Or yeah,
so obviously it makes the sit-ups heavier because
yeah,
if you
it-
were doing it without the ruck, you would use a 6 kg
yeah,
ball, but
yeah.
obviously you're using your backpack, which is 10 kg. So
Mm-hmm,
yeah, as long as you can, I guess, comfortably take that over your head and back, it's okay.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, you take it off, and it's actually quite nice to take it off for
Yeah,
a minute or
yeah,
so, and
yeah.
then you have to put it back on. So yeah, it's
Yeah, and also that is probably a thing. You have to test it several times in the training, how to take it off very fast, how to take it
yeah,
on very fast, that you don't lose too crazy time in
yeah,
in, in that changing as well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All
I
right.
think
Yeah.
what I find incredible is having done the rock myself. So just as an example, when I did the DEKA Strong rock yesterday, my time was 22 minutes 40 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So the quickest time I've done it is 22:32. To put that into perspective, the American ladies at the top are doing it in 14 minutes.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible. Like
Yeah.
with a ruck on, it's actually incredible. Like it blows my mind because there's me like huffing and puffing, like come on, and going as quick as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And like it honestly, it blows my mind. It's incredible. Like it's absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
I mean, I saw that in the World Championships, like when I entered the arena, the ruck race was on, so you were on
Yeah,
with running, and then Brooklyn just was already on her last lap to run. I was
yeah,
like looking at my watch, and was like, oh,
yeah,
already? Okay. And they just do it like
yeah,
almost as fast as we do the
yeah,
normal fit without any extra weight and extra challenge. I mean,
yeah,
and that's really impressive. I can just imagine it's so much harder with that west, especially to run.
yeah.
I mean, I can imagine to do it in a strong. It will be definitely harder than a normal one, of course, but I mean, for me, the worst imagination is to run with it. I believe that's the hardest. But another question, how much weight is it for men, actually? Do you know? Is it
Uh,
15 or
so
20 or?
men is 30 pounds. So that would be like if we're rounding up, it would be 15 kg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fair
is it,
enough.
yeah, £30. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, it's like I think the thing is because obviously the Americans they have more ruck events.
Yeah.
The ruck is it's different for them. It's
Mhm.
actually part of their race culture rucking. So
Yeah. Yeah,
they
they
I
also had
think
the version of, but I think they stopped it. They had also some high rocks rock.
yes, high
Yeah.
rock. Yeah, they used to have high rocks go ruck where it'd be
Oh
a
yeah.
weighted vest. I
Hmm.
wanted to try that, and then I saw it got taken away. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, that's rucking. So if anyone has any questions about rucking, I'm not an expert, but feel free to drop me a message. Like I will happily talk about it all day long.
Yeah. That's great. And I think we take a short rest for a moment and then we come back to the other topic we want to talk about.
Yeah.